arigato. You should try it. 10 out of 10. Tell them again. Say it again.
Ceviche, arigato.
Ceviche, arigato. Okay. Arigato, ceviche. Arigato, ceviche. Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Naiya Chung, and if you are new here, join the family and subscribe. I promise you will love it here. If you don't know, I am in my third year of law school. I plan on graduating sometime in the summer. Right now, I am doing my assignments. I am currently taking supervised research with my professor, Uta Venice. She agreed to do this with me. So I have a deadline coming up of creating an outline, and then my first draft is going to be right after that. So I decided to just knock them both out the way. It is killing me right now because I just like to be done with things and I can't go out. It's a 20-page paper, but until I get to 10 to 12 pages, I'm not going anywhere. So I decided to write my paper about disability law. I worked in the Dial clinic this summer, and I'm very glad that clinic fell into my lap because I've learned a lot. And I learned about the discrimination and the inequity that people with disabilities face, and I want to highlight that in my paper. So what I'm talking about is the housing inequity with people with disabilities, and how can they ever be fully independent when they have low employment rates based on stereotypes, even though there's federal law protecting them in the workplace. That doesn't stop them from not being considered qualified applicants, even though a person with a disability can still be a qualified individual, and how that leads to them not being self-sufficient to go into housing. And also I plan on highlighting how the Fair Housing Act, which is made to protect classified individuals, including people with disabilities, is now completely reaching its promise due to the fact that a lot of people with disabilities still face eviction. And I'm going to talk about that in my paper, as well as the Olmstead Promise, which talks about integrating people with disabilities into community living and also reaching the same opportunities as people who don't have disabilities. So I'm going to tie it all in together. You guys are going to hear it in the end. It might sound like three completely different topics, but I'm going to merge it into one. And that's what I'm doing right now. I have to cite sources, law journals, primary law, the Constitution, federal law, things like that, cases. So I'm doing that right now. My head hurts, but I'm going to begin. Okay, you guys, so outside of my secondary sources, I just printed out 3 cases that I know will help my paper. And I'm about to read them, I'm about to analyze them, I'm about to use them as cases in my example for my paper. It's funny because one of my cases are actually done by the attorney I was working under, Professor Dietz. And it's just really crazy to see how much he's changing and moving the disability field, because a lot of these cases are litigated by him, and he's actually proving my point in one of my papers about how people with disabilities face eviction, and he got to save this family from facing eviction. So shout out to you, Professor Dietz. If you don't know, and if you're like unaware about what cases are used for in the law, as a law student and when you become a lawyer, you use cases to prove that the facts of your specific case is similar or unlike the case that you have read about and analyzed, and you're going to prove to the judge why he should follow the law because it's on your side, or he should rule differently than how the case ruled because your facts aren't the same as that case, and this is the reason why. And so it might be true that the law was applied correctly in this case, but the reason why it should be applied differently in your case is because of this little difference. So being a lawyer, being a law student, is really knowing how to look at cases, look at research, and really decipher and see those little nuances for points. And that can make you a stronger attorney, a stronger law student, and somebody who can deeply decipher and analyze cases. And that's what I'm doing right now. But this is just a paper and not a case. This is just me doing a little legal paper to graduate. And of course, the place I typically study in, none of the outlets are working. I tried this outlet and that outlet, and none of them want to work. So I decided to work in the office, and see you guys later. Okay, you guys, so I just got done with my outline. It went up to 4 pages, which is crazy because I'm like, no, the outline's not going to be that long, but it's 4 pages. I kind of broke down all my topics, and now I'm about to send it to my professor. And then after this, it's about to be studying for my midterm for professional responsibility. I'm very proud of myself. Hello everybody, so I just wanted to tell you guys that I ended up finishing what I was made to do that day on my paper. I got to page like 13 and now I'm on page 16 going to page 17. We are almost there at my 20 pages requirement and I literally cannot think about anything else. But today I plan on finishing my 20 page paper because I really cannot move on and think about any subject until this is done. And it's not even done, but I just want to have something on paper as a rough draft and then I have to go back and add citations, edit my document, make it sound better. But I just want to know that I have my format, that I have my content, that I have what I'm going to say all on paper. So wish me luck. And if you're watching this and you're a student, go do your homework. Hey everybody, welcome to the check-in. So I have been studying for those who want to know, but my midterm is stressing me out. So right now I'm about to go out. Today is my friend's birthday and her birthday happens to be right in the middle of final studying. But it's actually very good for me because I need a little break. Sometimes when you're just studying, you need a time to like do something else, unwind, step away, come back, and that's firmly what I believe I need right now. So I'm gonna use her birthday not only as an excuse for me and my work, but as a way to celebrate with my friend and also just take that mental break. Right now, I'm doing my little edges. I use this edge control. I got it from TikTok Shop, but I actually think that she's her. Oh no. Okay you guys, so right now I just got to the restaurant. I've never been here before, but I'm here first. So I'm just vibing. This is what I wore. I went with the black dress. I have on black heels and yeah, you guys are gonna meet my friend Lexi. You're gonna meet other friends and yeah, so stay tuned as we go to this restaurant and I really need this break, so yeah. Okay everybody, so we're officially in the restaurant and we're with Lala. Okay, and
Lexi.
And
Yo.
And Lexi's the birthday girl, but we're all here to support her. So like, happy birthday to you. Yeah, happy birthday, Lexi. Hey. Okay, so what did we order? What did we get?
We got scallops.
Okay.
Cheese. And we also got the Miami heat roll.
Okay.
No cream cheese.
No cream cheese. I like cream cheese though. I'm team cream. Yeah.
Okay.
But you know, it's gonna be good. But yeah, hold on.
We'll be back, guys.
We'll be back. And then happy birthday to you, Lexi. Okay, you guys, our food has came. Everything's good, but we're eating, so TTYO. Hello everybody, good morning and welcome to my video. Today is October 10th and Hurricane Milton hit yesterday. As a Floridian, a lot of damage has low-key been done, but luckily my family and I are safe. There was a tornado that went through my area and I'm so thankful that it missed my house, but I do pray for the people who were close to it and that they are okay. Right now, I'm gonna take advantage. School has been canceled for the whole week. That means no required readings, no nothing. So I'm gonna take this time to catch up with what I need to do and hopefully get ahead. I might not be able to get ahead, but I want to be able to start working on some things that I know are due, such as my healthcare organization's 1-page paper, and we have to do a PowerPoint. I want to start doing my research on that, get that out the way. I want to start polishing my supervised research paper because that's due in a week, basically a week and a half, and then I want to start reviewing and studying for evidence. So we have a lot on the plate, we have a lot on the table. I'm also, hopefully, fingers crossed, going to link with this girl from school. Her name is Vivian. She's really nice. We actually sit next to each other in evidence and she texted me. Previously we were supposed to like study for evidence, but now we're just like, let's go get some food. So I love it. I'm down. I'm always down to make new friends or grow closer in my relationships. Somebody else from school texted me, Naiya, and she asked me how I was doing after the hurricane, and I find that to be so thoughtful because she knows I live in Palm Beach County and I appreciate thoughtful people who think about you, check on you, anything like that. I will always appreciate in my life. Make sure you appreciate those who actually take initiative to care about you and make sure you always give them the same energy back. But right now I'm about to study, do some homework. Caden's home, my whole family's home, clearly because of the hurricane. So in moments like these when everybody's home and I have homework to do or work to do, typically my whole house just kind of keeps an eye on Caden. We'll let him roam free until, you know, I want to spend like time with him or I'm done with work. So yeah. But yeah, Time to do studying. I hope you guys all were safe during this hurricane if you live in Florida or anywhere else that got hit. And yeah, let's go be a student, even during the hurricane. Actually, before I get to work, I'm about to bust down. This is rice and sauce. I eat a lot of African food, you guys, and no regrets. Okay, you guys, so the instructions for my healthcare organization's regulations and access course and rules and guidelines for my paper and my PowerPoint is that you have to choose one topic and write a one-page reflection, summarize your selected health law issue, advocate for why you selected your health law issue and why it's important. So my paper is about access and transparency and creating minor protection laws when it deals with confidentiality and consent, and creating exceptions when it comes to reproductive health, sex education, and certain sensitive topics, STDs, STIs, that allows for teens to have transparency about what they're doing with their body and their health life with doctors, so that doctors also don't have to be afraid of liability due to HIPAA. I've done my research. I was looking at some statistics, and there's statistics saying that by 13, blank amount of people are being tested for HIV. And so things like that show me like, okay, not everybody may agree with my topic because talking about sex is typically uncomfortable, especially when you're referring to minors and people under the age of 18 or people 18 years old and younger. But the reality is a lot of people in high school, middle school, they're doing things, they're having sex, they're having mental health issues, and not everybody can be transparent with their doctors when they know their parents are getting their medical records. So I'm arguing that when it comes to sensitive issues like sex and reproductive health and things along those lines, that we have confidentiality that protects minors and doctors and create a relationship of confidentiality, and hopefully this will lead to preventative care and decrease the number of permanent and lifelong STDs and mental health issues and substance abuse and things like that by having transparency between healthcare and patients. And the reason why I say it's not ideal is because I know that somebody may think like, well, parents should be allowed to understand what their kids are going through, XYZ, and I agree. I have a kid. I wish when he grows up he would tell me, but the reality is a lot of teens and kids do things without their parents' knowledge and their fear of what their parents would think or do if they did know. So I believe that this is not a utopian world and we need to not address it in that sense, but the reality. My PowerPoint is literally called Minor Law Protection, Reality Over Utopia, because sometimes I think you have to focus on reality more than what the ideal society wish would be and address things from the way they are and the ways they exist. So yeah. Okay, you guys, so Kaden is in the back over there vibing. I really already finished this one-page paper in like an hour, probably less a little bit, but I found all my research on the CDC. I had so much of the statistics that I was looking for and I needed, and it really guided where I wanted the scope and the focus of my paper to be at. But just know my information is very powerful, very impactful, and I actually do hope that one day we can have the laws and the protection that I'm proposing, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it. Now I'm probably gonna take a little break with Kaden, and then I'm gonna come back and like polish my paper 100%, and from here forward my final thing will be done for this class, and I'll just be able to participate in discussion and get ready for when I go to present again. And I'm excited for that because this takes a burden off of my back, and I'm going to tomorrow attack my supervised research, be done with that, and then just start focusing, really focusing on my two other classes, professional responsibility and evidence, since that comes with a real final exam, and I want to get straight A's this semester. So fingers crossed. I want to end my last school year of law school with a strong GPA and putting in that work. This hurricane really helped me just get my mind focused, a mental reset, and sometimes staying home and just not driving to school, having to go to class, like just focusing on your work and getting caught up can sometimes really be needed, and I needed this little break. It's not good that the hurricane came, but I'm making the most out of it. Hello everyone, I am ready to go out with my friend. I'm wearing a brown dress with a deep slit. Sorry, but for YouTube you guys cannot see all that. But we are about to have a good time. I'm so excited to hang out with somebody from school. I'm currently missing one earring and trying to find it, but we're about to have a good time. Stay tuned. Can't wait to go to dinner.
I just bought a rover for no reason. I'm on house arrest, I can't even leave.
Hello everybody. everybody and welcome to my vlog. It is currently 9:14 and I am on the way to school. If I'm leaving at 9:14, this means I'm only going to my Tuesday, Thursday class. My other class starts at 9 a.m. on Monday and Wednesdays. So yeah, I love Tuesdays, Thursdays because it's like my little break, woosah day. There's nothing better than one class, going to school and going home, or just studying or relaxing. So I really do love Tuesday and Thursday. As an update for Into the Court, I actually got all my judges now. So what they're doing is every time we have Into the Court, we get a judge and we have rotation and we meet all the judges. So I'm very much hoping to connect with all these judges. It's not just one judge, it's multiple judges and some attorneys based on the interest of what you want to do. So I put down that I'm interested in business, intellectual property, and something else. I put the third thing down. The reason why I can't remember is because I just put it down to see like what comes in that field, see if it sparks my interest. You never know. So far I've been reaching out to like entertainment attorneys. I've reached out to the people in charge of that, the sports and entertainment law section of the Florida bar, to see if there's any events that I could go to. And I've been reaching out to my career advisor, and we're gonna sit down and make a plan and look at law firms in Florida and in South Florida. And also I talked to my graduation advisor today because I'm graduating earlier than a real regular part-time student. So now me and her need to make sure I have everything and that I'm part of the 2025 graduation year and everything that comes with. So I'm excited to hear that conversation. And then what else? I will now be taking evidence seriously. I will be revising my 20-page paper for my supervised research. I finished that and I'm really focusing on evidence now. My friend that I went to brunch with, she just said we can study anytime, and then she also gave me like what she does to study for evidence. She uses Themis, which is like a law student law website that, you know, people study for the bar with, and she's using that to get like an understanding of evidence because they have videos. So I'm gonna try to get access to that and see what that does. Hello everybody and welcome to my vlog. The reason why I'm talking a little bit lower is because everybody in my house is sleeping. It's 10:03 at night and I'm deciding to read for tomorrow. Normally I don't read the day before or this close to class, but I had to due to my week, and tomorrow I go up and present. Tomorrow in the morning I have a meeting with a career advisor to go over finding entertainment law firms in South Florida and Florida period. I'm not messing up that meeting for anything in the world. I'm gonna get my work done now, and yeah, I'm excited. So welcome to the vlog. The good thing is between me and my group, which is 2 other people, we only have to read 20 pages. So 20 pages is nothing. I'm about to read and then go to bed. But as long as I go to bed knowing that this was done. Today is my last time presenting and I'm so happy. I was the first group to go, and we all as a class are responsible for going 3 times. This will be my 3rd time with my group. So we are done. The next time we present will be us doing our individual presentations. So I'm just opening up my book and looking at what this chapter is about, and it says tax exempt healthcare organizations. So I'm gonna find out what that means, which I already know what it means to be tax exempt. That means you don't get to pay taxes for certain things when you're considered a charitable organization. So I'm about to learn how this applies to the healthcare system or hospitals or things like that. So yeah. Good morning. I took a shower, brushed my teeth. I did not eat, but I'm on the way to school. At 10 a.m. is my appointment with my career advisor. And like I already told you guys, I'm very happy to be having this meeting. If I get there early, I'm just gonna do some work. And yeah, see you guys when I get to school. This is just me giving you guys a little update, and have a good day. Okay, you guys, so I have arrived to school, and thankfully the second parking lot had parking today. I'm about to go in at 9:40 because I don't know which exact office Assistant Dean Vrella is in. I'm so excited, you guys. I really know I want to be an entertainment intellectual property attorney. I just love things like YouTube, podcast, branding, business, music, protection. Just the whole creative side of the law is beautiful because you're working with creatives and creative people and business people, and I just think I like to be around people who like to use their intellect to use creation and ideas, and that's how I am. As you see, I have a YouTube channel. I'm in law school. I like to use my brain. I like to be creative in these aspects. So I think the perfect place for me is to go into entertainment law, and you know, I'm excited to see where that brings me, because not only do I understand the legal side, but I understand the creative side as I do YouTube and things like that. So yeah, your attorney YouTuber, your future attorney YouTuber. I just can't wait to see what firms we find today. I've been trying to do research on my own, but me and her are going to create a plan, and hopefully I get my first job opportunity. Okay everyone, so I'm coming from my meeting with Assistant Dean Varela and it went amazing. I know a path to go on to try to find entertainment firms and entertainment attorneys, so I'll be doing that this weekend with the mix of my homework. So glad I spoke to her today. I feel like she put me on the right path, and yeah, she gave me a lot of advice. We had a good talk. I'm about to go to class, get my camera set up, and yeah, see you guys in healthcare organizations.
Group 1, we're back to our final rotation of groups, and let's talk about tax exemption.
Hello everyone, today we are going to go over federal tax exemption. Nonprofit hospitals make up 57%, for-profit hospitals make up 24%, and government-owned hospitals make up 19%. Nonprofits usually are the highest category. There are several benefits of federal tax exemption. It includes exemption from federal unemployment taxes, preferred postal rates, special pension benefits, special treatment under different regulatory laws. No part of their net earnings may inure to the benefit of any private shareholder or individual. No substantial part of its activities may consist of certain activities aimed at influencing legislation. They also cannot participate or intervene in any political campaign on behalf of any candidate for public office. There are several, once again, 501c3 requirements, especially if they are a healthcare facility. Healthcare facilities do usually abide by a community benefit standard. There are 2 tests under the community benefit standard: the organizational test and operational test, which is met when the hospital primarily operates for charitable, educational, or religious purposes. This was not adopted till 1969. Before 1969, tax-exempt status was seen as a trade-off for the hospital alleviating the government's burden to care for the poor. And after 1969, tax-exempt status was met when a hospital promoted health for the general benefit of the community. Hospital organizations that are operating more than one hospital facility must meet the 501R requirements separately for each facility. Under the 501R requirements, there were 5 areas that they kind of focused on. The first is community health needs assessment. Basically, the assessment has to take place at least once every 3 years. It has to be widely available to the public. If it is not done, they receive an excise tax of $50,000. The assessment should address needs and deficits, address social detriments of health, look for ways to prevent illness in the community. The last area that it kind of focused on was audited financial statements, and to be honest, that just to me summed up like you have to make your 990 public so people can see where you're spending your money and you will be able to see where their expenses lie.
So there's only one case in our chapter, IHC Health Plans versus Commissioner of Internal Revenue. So basically they sued the IRS. In this case, Intermountain Healthcare Inc. was a nonprofit corporation that operated 22 hospitals in Utah and Idaho, and they employed over 300 doctors and a lot of specialists. In addition, they provided nearly $1.2 billion in healthcare services without reimbursement to patients covered by any governmental program or Medicaid or Medicare. In addition, they furnished more than $91 million in free healthcare services to lower income patients. So it's very clear why they were considered to be tax exempt. However, they had 3 other entities within itself that was made to integrate their provisions of healthcare, which was health plans, healthcare, and a health group. And they operated as health maintenance organizations within their integrated delivery system. In 1999, the commissioner concluded that this was not a part of a charitable organization, and even though the nonprofit corporation was tax exempt, they weren't. So they basically sued, saying that they should be tax exempt. So the issue in this case is whether we must consider health plans, healthcare, and health group to be operated exclusively for exempt purposes within the meaning of 501c3, which is basically, are those tinier entities a charitable organization within itself? And an organization would not be considered charitable unless it serves a public benefit rather than a private interest. And in addition, we must determine whether these petitioners operated primarily for the purpose of a charitable organization only if it engages primarily in activities which accomplish one or more such tax exempt status, and that is through an operational test. And it would not be considered a charitable organization if it is an insubstantial part of its activities and does not further a tax exempt purpose. So here the court ultimately found that the main corporation was for charitable purpose, but none of the other entities were for the benefit of the community. Just because something can have a tiny part of a charitable purpose does not make it qualified under 501c3, and the additional public benefit that that separate entity must provide must be so strong that the public benefit is the primary purpose for which the organization operates. So thus, the courts agreed that the petitioners standing alone did not qualify for tax exempt purposes.
So the notes and questions portion covered the failure to satisfy 501 regulations. I wanted to take the conversation back to what a 501R regulation is for. So it is additional requirements that charitable and nonprofit hospitals must meet in order to receive tax benefits. And a failure to satisfy this indicates that the hospital is operating more as a for-profit entity rather than as a charity. The hospital has to conduct a community health needs assessment, and I broke it down into what this means as far as like the components of the course. So I said that this promotes transparency within the healthcare community, and then as Dominique already said, like they must address the community deficits in healthcare, and they have to assess the community needs. They also must implement a strategy to meet the needs of the community. So I felt that this addressed like the fact that the information was being collected. They weren't just harboring the information, but they also had a plan of action. And then hospitals must obtain input from a broad cross-section of the community served. So they have to obtain input from everyone in the community, including the vulnerable individuals in the community. Why is this important that they meet this regulation? So it's important to ensure the hospitals that are receiving the tax benefit are operating as charitable hospitals and are serving the vulnerable communities who need healthcare assistance. So the effects of losing the tax exemption status is that if a hospital fails to conduct a CHNA report, they can receive a tax excise of up to $50,000. What I found interesting is that even if a hospital has multiple facilities, if one facility alone doesn't meet the exemption, the individual facility can face a tax excise of the $50,000. Even if the entire healthcare facilities don't lose their exemption status. Some critiques, point of views, were saying like a lack of accountability and oversight by the IRS makes this ineffective. On paper, it looks good and it's beneficial to the community, but if it's not being enforced, then how beneficial is it? So nonprofit hospitals can maintain their tax exemption status even if limited charity care is provided. So even if they don't substantially invest in the community benefit plan, they're still able to maintain this tax exemption. So they also talk about inadequate community health needs. So they talk about how often the CHNAs are conducted, and because it's every 3 years, that might make it superficial and doesn't include a meaningful community member involvement. I also researched and I saw that a lot of people were confused about how to access or see the allocation of the healthcare services, the money where the hospital is spending their funds. A lot of people in the community are just not able to access it nor have an understanding that it's out there. And then another interesting critique I found was the disproportionate benefit to wealthier communities. And so this talks about how the healthcare takes into account the geographic market it serves. So we think about where the hospital is located. And if a hospital is located in a more affluent area, then you have to think about the community in that area. So that community has money, and so it's not really addressing the needs of individuals who don't have money. So yeah.
Okay, you guys, so we're out of class. I'm with Lindsay per usual, and normally I haven't been staying later anymore, but we're gonna spend time today and then catch up.
So I've realized something. I thought of something the other day. I thought I only had 3 classes with Naiya, but we had 4 classes together.
You got 4 classes?
We met in charitable organizations.
Oh, we did. We just didn't know each other.
We didn't know each other, but we
Oh
met.
my
We had a class there.
gosh.
We had disability law. That's where we became friends.
Yeah, and then real
But
estate.
we met in charitable organizations.
Next semester we're both taking MBE and FBE, so we're about to have 6
and next
classes.
semester we're gonna have a lot more together.
A lot more.
We'll be doing more walking around the pond.
Yeah.
Well, at least I will.
No, I'll be there too. But anyways, guys, we'll pick up the camera soon and talk to you later. Well, you guys, I'm officially on the way home, coming from Lindsay, and I'm glad we had to have our little catch up and talk. We just discussed our mental health a little bit, and I'm like, let me get on camera discussing what we talked about. And you know, I do promote people to go to law school, but you know, law school is a journey, and it's really tough sometimes because we go through life and we go through school, and a lot of people don't realize that we do go through life. We go through heartbreak during school. We have all these things that we still go through as being human, and a lot of people don't realize that. And you still have to keep up with homework, assignments, midterms. So sometimes all that life stuff can get to you. And my biggest piece of advice is like, do not neglect yourself as a student. Like, I know easier said than done, but if you need to take that weekend to get your mental health right or whatever the case may be, do it. Like, at the end of the day, with no you, there's no school. You need to be able to give yourself time sometimes, and that's okay. Just make sure you prioritize yourself and create your schedule, create your homework, do your homework in such a way that allows for you to be able to go out, live your life, have friends, or do something. Like, I believe a lot of things are time management, and sometimes you know? It's hard because you have to be disciplined, but stay on your schedule, stay on your organization. That way you can live while being a student. And again, always easier said than done. All right, you guys, mommy mode. I just got Kaden and now I'm gonna go home. And the next time I see you, I'll probably be doing some homework tomorrow. So say bye, Kaden.
Bye.
Kaden will be at his dad's house on Friday to Sunday, and that's how I get my work done for the week.